Welcome to Drinks in the Library, the only library where drinks aren't just allowed, they are required. I'm your librarian host, Gigi Howard, and each episode I'll be interviewing a guest about a much-loved book that we will be pairing with a drink for you to enjoy along with us or consider for your next book club meetup. As always, stay curious and support your local library. Welcome back, Libration Nation. We are diving into the charming world of Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is a rom-com, and it takes us on a whirlwind journey through love, politics, and the complexities of identity as we follow the unexpected romance between Alex, who is the first son of the United States, and Prince Henry of Wales. My guest this week is Katharine Herndon. She lives here in Richmond, Virginia with her husband, 2 boys, and a hound dog named Lola. She used to teach English, of course, but the homework got to her, so she decided to take up nonprofit work instead. Currently, she's the executive director of James River Writers. She is an enthusiastic advocate for the RVA literary community, which of course I love, and can be found at nearly all of the James River Writer events. This week is the James River Writer Conference, and I know that's going to be a blast. In Katharine's free time, she kills plants, burns more things than she cooks, knits very sporadically, and is still looking for some tolerable form of exercise. Our drink this week was a nod to our friends across the pond. It's the new G&T, y'all, and that is a gin and Earl Grey tea. We're about to get started. I wanted to give one last plug. If you are in the DC area, I am doing a live event at MM LaFleur at their Georgetown location in conjunction with Old Town Books up there, and that's going to be October 28th, and I would love to see some of you there in person. All right, let's get to it. All right, Katharine, I'm so excited to be jumping into this with you. Red, White, and Royal Blue. I keep wanting to say red, wine, and blue because that's
because of the group.
The group, yeah, and I get all their text messages. Great group, very supportive, yeah. But yeah, so it's Red, White, and Royal Blue. So
yes,
yeah.
So I found that book in 2019. It seemed like that summer it was everywhere. Like every single thing that was recommending books was recommending that book. Everybody I get a ton of book mail in my inbox, and everybody in my inbox was like, you have to read this, and this is the best romance of the summer. This is the best summer book. It's the best beach read. And so I got it. I think I got it from the library, of course.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
And now I own every conceivable copy that there is to own, every type of copy. Now that after I went and got it out of the library. But I started reading it, and it was so funny that I texted a friend of mine, a really good friend, and I said, "This is such a funny book so far. You have to find it." And she said, "That's really weird. I just checked it out of the library." And so we were like, no.
Yes.
And so we considered you to read the book together and texted each other. Did you get to this part yet? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you reading? Did you get to this part? Oh, it's so funny. I don't think I've ever read a book like that with an adult friend, where I've watched TV shows with my teen friends when I was little, but actually texting back and forth in real time and highlighting the parts that we loved and falling in love with it together. And now we're really cautious about letting other friends into this relationship we have with this book, because it would just be crushing if we had a really good friend and they didn't like the book. We'd have to just rethink our entire relationship with that friend.
This is like your litmus test of, is this person normal?
Right, okay. Do they love this book like we love this book? And so it hasn't, like, we don't want to sever any friendships over it, but we're definitely going to give you side eye if you don't like the book. It's adorable, and it's really just lovely. 2019 was also a difficult political summer, and just having something else to concentrate on where it was like an alternate reality. So the premise of the book is the first son of the United States, who's the child of the first female president, falls in love with the second son, the second prince of England. It's them getting together, starting to get together behind the scenes as they try to figure out how much they care for each other and if this is a thing they want to pursue. And all the political ramifications that might have. And Henry the Prince has not told anyone publicly that he's gay yet. There's all of that. And the supporting cast is just amazing, of all the really strong women in the book that are there for Alex, the first son. So just so many things that work so well in the book.
Yeah. So going into Alex a little bit. Okay, it's a romance. It's
Yes.
a rom-com. And with romance, you have your setup. And this one has one of my favorites, which is like forced fake relationship.
Yes.
So tell us about that. That is my favorite.
I think it's not spoiling anything at this point, since it's been out for so many years, and it's also had a movie made of it for Amazon, I think. But they meet. Alex has this kind of hate relationship with Henry, where he considers him sort of his nemesis, and they're going to the royal wedding of his older brother, and they make a point on the way over about talking about the cake, which is like a gorgeous $75,000 cake for the wedding, and he and Henry end up stumbling into it and knocking it over and going flying into the cake. So then, in order to avoid a horror show of rumors, and this is going to affect political policy for his mother, he has to pretend to be Henry's best friend, and they have to do some photo ops together and visit a charity and pretend that they're getting along, and neither of them are getting along in the beginning.
Yeah.
So there's all this tension.
So that's my favorite romance. I love it when it's like, we have to pretend that we're engaged, or
we have to be together. Oh no, there's only one bed.
Yeah. What are some of your favorites?
I do like enemies to lovers if it's done well. I feel like it's done really well here, where the enemies to lovers was a lot of just sexual tension. Yeah. I don't like enemies to lovers if it's enemies to lovers because one of them is a jerk.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that can be done quite often. So I like that one. Forced proximity is pretty good. I like neighbors or brothers, sister as well.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of fun. I don't know. Do you read romance a lot?
I read a lot of romance. Probably since the pandemic. I was reading it before, but starting in the pandemic, I had been reading a lot of young adult novels before the pandemic, and they all went apocalyptic. And during the pandemic, I was like, I cannot read any more apocalyptic anything. Please stop.
Yeah.
So, I just went fuzzy.
What's it about the fuzzy stories that draws you in?
Obviously, rom-coms and romances have to have the happily ever after or the happy for now. So that's really relaxing to know that you're reading something where even if things aren't working out right now, they're going to work out in the end. A lot of warm relationship stories where people overcome their problems to be together. That's always comforting. And then a lot of them have really, really good side casts. And I'm always on board for a great sister or a great brother, a great family dynamic. Just throw my money at that.
Talking about the family dynamic, tell us about this family, because I was just, like I said, I'm 15% through, so I'm just starting to get into it.
So it's the first family in the United States. So his mother is divorced from a senator who's a Mexican-American, and she's remarried to a kind of bumbling, lovable tech billionaire who gave up all of his tech billionaire stuff to be the first man of the United States. And then Alex's sister is a really, really important part of the story. She's older, and she's pretty much sticking around the White House to keep him from getting in too much trouble, because, he just leads with his heart and jumps in and is prone to messing things up. So, as he does, falling into a cake. And then they have their best friend, Nora, who is the vice president's daughter. Yeah. And so they call it the White House trio, and they're inseparable. And then they add Henry to it, and then he has a younger sister who's delightful, and then he also has a best friend who's fun.
It's kind of like a little bit of lifestyles of the rich and famous,
it
too.
Is, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because they get to fly on private planes, and you can just be like, you have to go fix this, so pop on over to England and do 3 appearances in a charity event with Henry, and then come back in 2 days. Yeah. So,
have you followed up with reading more books from Casey McQuiston?
I read part of One Last Stop, and I didn't love it quite as much as Red, White, and Royal Blue, so I just never got around to finishing it. And then I think I'm really, really going to like the most recent one. It's a second chance romance, and I was personally writing a second chance romance when I started it, and I was like, this is going to mess with my head. So I just put that on the back burner until I finished, and now I'm in beta reads for my second chance romance, so I think I can go back and read it.
And I want to get into your writing a little bit, but I want to ask about that specifically. Like, when you're writing, what are you reading?
Usually, I still enjoy reading when I'm writing. I know some people don't read while they're writing, and especially don't read like in the same genre that they're writing in. I don't have a problem reading other romance while I'm writing romance, but the second chance, the same trope was a little bit too close.
Yeah.
So I read a bunch of fantasy over the summer, and I feel like you just keep priming you keep adding things into your brain that make you feel good, and it helps with the writing process, which sometimes doesn't feel good.
Yeah. What are the hardest parts of being a writer for you?
For me, I usually get bogged down in the middle where I hate everything and I'm positive that it's never going to work and this was a stupid idea. I am getting to the point where I recognize the fact that I'm in the middle and this is part of the process is hating everything. So that's hard. I like editing where I get to make it all come together a little bit better and a little bit more smooth and more connected. Any given day I might tell you I hate any part of it or love any part of it. But I just, over the summer, it was way too long if I was going to look for traditional publishing, so I had to cut down thousands and thousands of words.
Okay. What's the word count right now?
After cutting 17,000 words, it's now at 105,000 words, which is still a little long.
Yeah.
So even for a fantasy romance.
Yes. Okay. This is exciting, though. So where are you in the process now?
I'm waiting for some beta readers to get back to me. And once they get back to me, I know I have a little bit more editing to do. And then I'm going to send it out to agents to see if I can get an agent.
Okay.
So.
What's a beta reader?
Beta reader is the person that you've got it in as pretty much good shape as you think you can, and you give it to somebody to read as like just a reader straight to be like, okay, does this hang together? Do you hate the characters? Do you get to the end and you're like, why did they make that decision?
Yeah.
So they're your second level readers.
Okay. Are they are they friends? Or are they people?
For me, they are. Okay. I have 6 friends reading. 3 are done, and I'm waiting on 3.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your role with James River Writers.
Yes.
Specifically. Tell us about that.
Okay, so I'm their executive director. I've been executive director for a little over 10 years, I think. And basically the organization is a local nonprofit in Richmond, and we're here for writers writing absolutely anything. We're not just romance writers or literary writers. We're for all types of writers, beginning and advanced writers. You don't have to be at a specific level to come hang out with James River Writers. You don't have to be a member to come hang out with us. You can just come hang out at any of our free programs and get to know us a little bit, then decide if you want to jump in. Yeah. We have programs throughout the year, so we try to do a panel or a class or something every month, and then our big event is coming up October 4th and 5th, which is our conference, and it's our 23rd conference. So we're really excited. We bring about 25 speakers in from outside of Richmond, and then we supplement the schedule with really amazing Virginia writers. And so we end up having, between moderators and authors, about 60 panelists and speakers, and just something for everybody. We have stuff on characters, stuff on intellectual property. We have a panel on community, like how do you find your community? How do you work to make that something that's going to support you when you're ready to be supported? And lots of fun elements, too. We have a poetry reading at lunch, and we have something called the Lucy booth, where you can go and get advice from our experts, just like if you were talking to Lucy Van Pelt.
Okay. Yeah, the expert is in, right?
The expert is in, exactly.
Okay, that's going to be a lot of fun. What are some things that you wouldn't expect that you get out of your membership with James River Writers that, you would like people to know?
I think the biggest thing that you can get out of it, you have to put in a little bit of effort, but I think the biggest thing you can get out of it is community.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, that any given day I will like or hate where I am in writing something, and there's 500 people who feel the same way.
Yeah.
So you can get together with them and 30 to 80 people groups and find people who feel the same way you are feeling about something. They're really frustrated, or they already have the answer, or they love something that you love. So it's really uplifting, because I felt before James River Writers, if you write for fun, you have a hard time explaining that to some people. I mean, even as an English teacher, when people were like, "What are you doing this weekend?" "I'm going to go work on my book." "You're what now? On purpose, for fun? You're spending your free time writing?" So you get quizzical looks or very confused people. But everybody at James River Writers understands that if you say, "Yeah, I'm going to spend my weekend working on my book, or working on some poems, or working on some blog posts," people get it.
Yeah.
My friend said that she felt like going through James River Writers was like an MFA in only the classes that she wanted to take.
Oh, so. That's great. So, yeah. Imagine it maybe not quite as pricey or as time consuming as an MFA too. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. And you and I met for the first time a few weeks ago. And I said to you, I mean, I would love for Richmond to be known as a place that really celebrates reading and writing. And you said, and I agree with you, it already is, but people just don't talk about it as much. And I want people to talk about it.
I want people to talk about it too. I'm always surprised that there are people out there who don't know about James River Writers. We do have about 500 members, so I'm delighted and surprised when I find writers in Richmond who don't know us yet. And it just seems every time I turn around, there's some good writing news in Richmond. VCU just hired 2 more poets for their staff. Somebody just told me.
Yay.
People I know are doing amazing things. Like we were just talking about, Sarah Glenn Marsh is publishing her new adult novel.
Yes.
Meg Medina just came out with a new novel over the summer.
Yes.
And then people who do have novels, I was just thinking about Meg, some things are getting turned into graphic novels, which is cool, that you have the first novel out and then it's not the end of it. It has another life. Yeah, I just think it's amazing the level of talent. Like we had the children's ambassador for literature. Meg Medina lives in Richmond.
Yes.
Like, that's pretty amazing, Richmond.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Sadiqa Johnson lives in Richmond, who's an amazing writer.
Yep. Rachel
Beanland.
Rachel Beanland's here. Yep. So all of these people, and they're doing amazing things, and I think it's great.
And then we have Charlottesville, not too far away, and that's like another literary community. I feel like we have an amazing amount of riches of literature and literary people, and people who want to write, and people here to support other people who are writing. And I think writers, for the most part, that I've met and interacted with are incredibly generous. They really want other people to be successful, and they want other people not to have to struggle as hard as they're struggling. And they want to help those who are coming up behind them. So I think that's one of the things that makes JRW great, too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Through this podcast, I've met a lot of writers.
So fun.
It is fun. And that's a gift to me that I get to invite that into my life. But yeah, all of them have always been so gracious and so kind. And like you said, so generous with wanting to support the podcast and then coming together and talk about books. It's like my favorite thing, obviously. So very cool. Yeah, so the conference is coming up October 3rd and 4th and 5th. Sorry.
No, that's okay. The 3rd, we do online classes. So even if you're not in Richmond, you can do online classes. And then the 4th and 5th is in person at the Convention Center.
Okay. Awesome. It's going to be great.
Yes.
It's exciting. Do you spend like half the year planning this conference?
Pretty much. Pretty much. We pretty much start in November after it's over. We start thinking about who we ask, who said maybe next time we can get back to. And we ask the people who came to the conference, hey, do you have any friends who you think would enjoy our conference? So get a lot of good recommendations that way. And then our friends like Meg Medina and Sadiqa and Rachel all know people. So we got Rachel's literary agent a couple of years ago, so that was fun. So it's always nice to get people's. And Sadiqa's literary agent has come several times. She's amazing.
Wow. That's great.
Yes.
Exciting. I'm so excited for you. Okay, very cool. I guess coming back to the book a little bit with my questions. And we already talked about it a little bit, but talking about genre romance, do you ever dive into some non-fuzzy books or do you
Okay, so this summer I read The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones, which is not at all fuzzy.
No.
And not at all romance.
Yeah.
It is horror. It is straight up probably the most violent thing I've ever read. And I have read some violent things, but so good. So amazing. Have you read anything by him?
I haven't. And to clarify, I have to be in a mood to do anything really heavy.
Right?
Yeah.
I had tried something else by him, and it was very psychological horror and was really messing with my head. And I thought, I don't have to do this to myself.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe horror is not for me. I was pretty convinced that I didn't need to add horror to my brain because there's so many things that my brain is already worried about. But it's a vampire retelling where it's a Native American vampire killing buffalo hunters.
Okay.
And I was like, I've read a bunch of vampire stories. I could probably handle a vampire story.
Yes.
And he is just such a fabulous writer. Like, even his acknowledgments were one of the most entertaining things I've read recently.
Really? Okay. All right. You're convincing me. I'm going to try it.
And just clearly very evocative of the time period. And I'm sure it's very well researched. It just has that feel about it. And an amazing story. So I also listened to it on audio, which was really... They had some audio effects at the end that were very, very effective, I'll just say.
Okay. All right. There's a plug for... I've heard that book is supposed to be amazing. It's been on, like, lists.
It's so many lists, yeah.
Yeah. Those are good. There was a path I was going to go down a little bit. Oh, I wanted to ask you, talking about Red, White, and Royal Blue, like, what are some read-alikes? What other kind of romance do you feel is really... It hits the same... buttons?
So there's a book I love by Kate Canterbury called In a Jam.
Okay.
That's just delightful. This woman inherits a flower farm from her aunt or somebody. The relationship's not that important. But in order to keep the flower farm, she has to get married or something. It's another of those forced proximity things. And her life is just blown up on her. And she's, you know what? I'm just going to go hang out at the flower farm and get myself back together. And lo and behold, the guy she had a crush on in high school is next door, and he had a crush on her, and et cetera, et cetera. But it's just, again, side characters and family. I'm a complete sucker. He's raising his niece, who I think is 6, and thinks she's a pirate and is completely foul-mouthed to his horror, and is chasing the chickens around the yard and hates the chickens. It's just a delight. It's fun.
Yeah.
It gets you out of your head. So
Yeah. Definitely need those sometimes.
And then I think I read the first or second, 1 or 2 of the books by Catherine McPhee, which were, I think that's her
singer?
last name. No, Catherine, maybe I'm getting the name wrong, but they're about the royal family, but it's as if America never went to a democracy, and so instead they have a monarchy.
Oh.
And it's very, very, it's even more soap opera-y than Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Okay.
It's very drama-oriented as far as, I don't want to be the heir to the throne. Oh no, I must make all these decisions, that kind of thing. But which sounds like exactly like Red, White, and Royal Blue, but it feels more real with Henry than it does in this book.
Yeah. Did you watch the TV show or the movie?
The Red, White, and Royal Blue?
Yeah.
I did. It was not my fave.
Okay.
They cut out some of the really strong female characters. They cut out June, his sister, completely, which I was just like,
yeah.
I get it. They only had a certain amount of time. I feel like the fans of that book would have watched a short series. I feel like they didn't have to do it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But for the time they had, they wanted to focus, I'm sure, on Henry and Alex, which makes sense. But that relationship between him and his sister and their best friend is so good. And just to have the older sister being there to support the younger brother, I feel is slightly different. Like, you get a lot of brothers being protective of sisters. So to have that sort of reverse, I feel was a really strong, interesting subplot.
Yeah. Well, and like their relationship that's like leads in the story is the relationship between Alex and June and Nora and so yeah, the book is always better, right?
It's always better. It's always better. Have you ever read a book where you were like, oh no, the movie was better? Not to get completely off
I know. Yeah, no, that's a great question. I don't think so. There's some where you're like, the movie did not disappoint me. But yeah, no. I loved Memoirs of a Geisha when I read it like over 20 years ago. And then I was so excited when the movie came out. That movie is horrible. I'm sorry to... Hopefully the director is not a fan of this podcast. I'm sorry. It's just... Oh my gosh, it does not live up to the story at all, so...
I think I remember it again. It's probably been 20 years, but I think the movie The Horse Whisperer was actually better than the book for me because I was so mad at the ending of that book. Like, I would never hurt a book, but I think I actually threw the book across the room.
Oh, no.
That was so bad.
That's frustrating. I will tell you, the Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret film.
Yes, I didn't watch the film. I was afraid.
Okay, it's good.
Oh, okay.
That was one when I say the film did not disappoint me. I feel like they added in elements. They added Barbara, Margaret's mother, has like a little bit of a subplot.
Oh, okay.
But I felt like that was beneficial because I feel like a lot of the audience are probably women who read this as a kid and now are mothers. And so probably are sort of like, what was it like for her to move from New Jersey out, or they moved from New York City out into the suburbs and everything, and it must have been tough. Yeah, that one I will say it did fine. It did fine. Yeah, still not as good as the book, but yeah. I also wanted to ask you. So you and your friend who read this together, have y'all done that since, or was it a one and
we
one
have
and done?
not. We've talked about it. We did also watch the movie together. We were in completely different states. We were like, let's queue it up. Let's watch it.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
We'd pause it period, and we'd be like, did they just skip that part? Why is that part? What? Oh my gosh, that was a great line. I'm glad they didn't cut that out. That kind of thing. And we were both a little disappointed in it. We both missed June and some of the strong moments for the female characters. But I think they did a mostly decent job of casting it.
Yeah.
And the people who love that book just love that book. Mm-hmm. I'm not as big a fan of the audiobook as I am of the print book for that one. Like, sometimes an audiobook will really add to your experience.
Yeah.
I really think it does with Buffalo Hunter. Mm-hmm. For me, like, I wasn't intrigued with the narrator of this one, but because sometimes I just want to put it straight in my head. We'll listen to it on audio.
Yeah. I couldn't get even now, 6 years later, it was hard to get a library copy. I did manage to get an audiobook library copy, though, so I'm listening to it as well. I think the narrator's okay. Yeah, but you're right. It's not. I'm not like, whoa. But
yeah,
he's doing a good job.
He's fine.
You're doing fine.
There are sometimes my friends and I have talked about this, that women audiobook narrators sometimes do a better job with guy voices than guys do with women voices, and I feel like he's not great at the women voices, but it's okay.
Did you listen to Harry Potter on audio?
I did.
And what is his name, the narrator?
I don't know, but he's famous.
He's very famous. Hang on, let me look this up real quick. So the narrator of Harry Potter, Jim Dale.
Yes.
And those books are like amazing. No, like you said, he's famous. But Bill and I, so we read them. And this is all pre-J.K. Rowling being terrible for the listener. But anyway, we read them 15 years ago and we listened to it, and we still do his voice when he does Hermione, because it's Harry. And it's so like you were saying, is sometimes men doing women's voices is just a little silly.
Quite right. I have a good Harry Potter story in conjunction with Red, White, and Royal Blue, because I own all of the different copies.
Yeah.
I own it on audio and digital, and then paperback, and then the extended version. Mm-hmm. The digital has actually been changed because at one point in the book, it's on the audio. If you're listening to the audio, June packs him a copy of Prisoner of Azkaban to take, and there's a reference to the fact that it's one of his favorite books, and they've taken that out of the digital copy. No J.K. Rowling reference.
Right, yeah. Since I started the podcast, it's like I wasn't as highly aware of everything that was happening right when I started, but it was like ramping up about 2 years ago when I started recording. And so, it is well documented in this podcast of like episodes where someone tells me another horrible thing J.K. Rowling has done. And I'm just like, oh no. You can see it just falling apart, but
disturbing, because it's hard to know what to do with that. Because I know that for a lot of people it really helped some reluctant readers and really made people feel included before she became not inclusive.
Yeah.
So it's just sad to see that happen. And we used to sell Harry Potter stuff in the conference bookstore, and now we're like, no.
I know. Yeah, it is. It's a whole thing. So anyhow, we don't have to...
we don't have to talk about that.
We can talk about Casey McQuiston,
yes.
This amazing author. What do you know about
So my friend and I, who read the book together, just went to see Casey because she was in Arlington in August.
Okay.
And so we drove up together to see her and with 800 of our closest friends.
Okay.
We had it in a school auditorium.
Okay.
And she's very, very down to earth.
Did you get to meet them?
We got to meet them just briefly in the signing line.
Okay.
So they had a whole, if you are this color, you can be signed now. And
Okay.
get 2 of our books signed. But they really just gave a talk, a question and answer talk, and talked about being inside Henry and Alex's heads while they tried to make them real and what their motivation was and how that was their first book and it did so well. Right. So really pretty amazing. And I loved it too that the audience was full of all kinds of different people who were really excited to be there, and clearly all kinds of different people who all kinds of different books of theirs spoke to them. So they have One More Stop. They have a young adult book.
I kissed
Sarah.
I kissed Shara something. I kissed Shara Wheeler.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have some young adult fans. And I feel like Red, White, and Royal Blue could be upper young adult. There's not a whole lot of explicit sex on the page.
Yeah.
Certainly not with the way we're going with explicit sex in young adult books, which seems to be anything goes. So
this is, I haven't gotten very far, but it doesn't seem like it's going to get super spicy. Yeah. Okay, cool. I didn't know too much about them. And I will give a warning as I have their Wikipedia page up next to me. If you are listening to this, do not go on the Wikipedia page. Because in prepping, I just wanted to make sure I had everybody's names right. And I went on. They give the whole plot of the story. No. So you haven't given me any spoilers, but their Wikipedia page for this book does. So don't read it if you haven't read it yet. It says, anyway, it's fine. I think I'll still enjoy it. But
you probably knew where it was going. But there is a kind of a exciting part at the end about whether or not the president is going to get reelected.
Okay. All right. We love political intrigue.
Right. I usually don't. I have a friend who says complicated politics should be alluded to and not explained in books. And usually that's me. I don't want to know. I don't need to know how it, but not in this case. In this case, you really want to know how all the inner workings worked. Mm-hmm. And then there's another book, The Goblin Emperor, which is very complicated politics. And I think that book is fascinating.
Interesting. The Goblin Emperor. Okay.
That one you really have to read, though, because the audio, all of the people have honorifics like Lord and Lady, except the Lord and Lady, whatever it is in the Goblin language, is something different. And I was so confused about what everybody's name was. I was like, why does everybody have the same name? Took me a while.
Okay. All right. My TBR is stacking up.
Let's just add some more.
It's my life, though. I wanted to talk about our beverage choice today, which you brought to us. So, Alex, Henry is our English prince. Mm-hmm. So, this is a gin and Earl Grey tea.
Yes.
Yes, which you suggested. And it's very good.
I like it, yeah.
I made the tea. I made the Earl Grey. And I got Beefeater's gin.
That seems appropriate.
Yes. Right? I almost went with Hendrick's. I think Hendrick's is British as well, and Bill loves it, but it's so expensive. So
we want an affordable cocktail.
I said,
you can have more than one.
The Beefeater's fine. But yeah, it's lovely. So thank you for suggesting it, and perfect for
a discussion of
across the pond.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to ask you, I'm wondering, I guess finishing up our discussion of this story is who would we recommend this book to?
I would recommend it to people who already love rom-coms. Mm-hmm. I would recommend it to people who don't mind a little bit of the politics in there. Mm-hmm. Probably if you're really happy with the way politics are going right now, this book is not going to be the thing you're excited about.
Yeah, you might not be so happy. Yeah.
Because it is the first female president and her mixed race family. Mm-hmm. So that is not our current reality. And it's fun to imagine things being different. So, and seeing what the White House looks like with different people in it. So if that appeals to you, I think you would like it. And it does have a little bit of tension in it. So it's not all 100% just cozy feelings all the way through. And there is some very real drama as far as why could they be together or not be together. Sure. A lot of times in rom-coms, I think we're going to a little bit of a softer third act breakup, where maybe they have some differences that they could work through, but they were just right now they're very not in a place where they're ready to do that together, or they break up for a little while or just have an argument or a misunderstanding as opposed to a big blow up. But Henry and Alex have very real reasons why they can't be together. And it's very stressful for Henry being gay and a prince of England. Yeah. It's very, at the beginning of the book, it's not known by everyone. And this could be an international incident. It could ruin their family's lives. It could ruin their lives. Yeah. So there's some very real things at stake. And it's not just, we didn't have a conversation and now we're mad.
AKA my least favorite.
My least favorite trope. Just talk.
Yeah, this is obviously a total misunderstanding. Okay, very cool. But I'm enjoying it, so thank you for bringing it to me.
I'm so glad. I hope you love it, and don't tell me if you don't.
Okay, I will. I love it. I wanted to ask, is there anything in the book that we missed or you wanted to make sure we got to and we didn't?
I don't think so. I say I don't think so, and then I launch into. I think the writing is amazing.
Oh, good.
I think sometimes people who don't read romances or who don't read rom-coms think that it's just a fluffy genre that is less than. And some of the writing in romance books is just beautiful and really well thought out. And I definitely think it's true in this book. They have emails that they exchange back and forth that are just great. They bring in pieces of history. They talk about their lives. And then there's so many beautiful moments where she brings back something from the beginning, where they will have made a reference to something at the beginning, and then they bring it back at the end of the book, which is my favorite. I just love that when there's still little hidden things that, like Easter eggs, that pay off at the end.
Yeah.
That's so satisfying. So there's so many parts of that Casey does.
Okay. Love that. Yeah. And thank you for highlighting romance authors are not just writing puffy things.
It takes some talent to figure out how to do it a little bit differently when you feel like it's all been done before. Yeah. There's so many tropes in romance that people are selling books by the trope now.
Yeah.
Like you go on Amazon and it says, this is a second chance romance with no cheating and a happily ever after. Like, okay, that's what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
And I do not buy my books off Amazon. I buy them at my local independent bookstore.
Okay, good.
Or get them from my library.
Yes.
But frequently I go on Amazon to get the descriptions just because they're still pretty good at having whatever the most recent thing that's out and having descriptions and reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. That is one thing sometimes Amazon's okay. I can't find this anywhere else, so I have to get it. But I don't buy books on Amazon. I do at least try to go to Barnes and Noble
and the library
which I'm at every day, and I get a lot of that. But then I want to be able to support the author and buy their books and everything like that.
Same, of course.
Yes. Yeah, just talking a little bit more about you and James River Writers. What else can we put a spotlight on today?
Let's see. So, like I said, the conference is coming up, which is pretty much consuming all of our work time at the moment and all of our free brain cells. So there's so many just teeny little things to take care of on that. And my team and I have done it together for a while now. We have one new member, but there's continuity. So we know how to get it done, but it's just a million little things. And I think just the fact that there are a lot of free entries to JRW, the conference does cost money, but there are a lot of places that you can join us and check us out for free. So we have a monthly networking event called Writers Wednesday, and that's always free. And then we have a Thursday night event in Chesterfield that's always free. And just a variety of things where you can come and mingle with us, see if we're for you, see what we've got going on, get some questions answered if there's something that you have a burning question about.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people who are thinking about exploring self-publishing and have questions about that, like how do I do it? Is it a valid way to go? What are the things I need to know?
Yeah. And
it's a really exciting time for writers to explore different ways to get their work out in the world. There's not quite as many gatekeepers.
Yeah, definitely. And I've interviewed a few self-published authors, and it was eye-opening for me, even though I'm kind of adjacent to the writing world, of the different kind of options that you have doing self-published versus going with a big publisher. So
it really is interesting. Big time publishers, everything that you do in that area takes so much time.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready probably to query in the next month or so. That can take, agents regularly say on their websites, you'll hear from me in 8 to 12 weeks. 8 to 12 weeks, that's months. And what you may hear from them may be, this really wasn't what I was looking for. So then you're on to somebody else. So it's another 6 to 12 weeks. So that's forever. And then if they accept you, then it's basically the same thing, looking for a publisher. Yeah. So it's no wonder that people are interested in getting it out there themselves, which you can do. You can do it instantly, but we don't recommend that.
Bam!
Amazon will let you upload. I think they have limited it now to 3 a day or something ridiculous. Crazy. But we recommend you take some time, edit as much as you can yourself. Maybe get a professional editor if you can afford that, and do the best job that you can so that it's professionally represented out there and makes you look good.
Yeah.
But there's so many different programs now that'll help you do that and get that out in the world. Okay. So it's pretty exciting.
That is exciting. Very cool. All right. This has been amazing.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. It's been so nice getting to know you.
Yes.
And getting more acquainted with James River Writers. So I'm excited to learn more as we go forward.
Excellent.
It's been great. And we got to enjoy our delicious cocktails.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for spending some time with me and my guests for an episode of Drinks in the Library. For more information about the show, you can find us on Instagram at Drinks in the Library, on the World Wide Web, drinksinthelibrary.com, or shoot me an email at drinkspod@gmail.com. Until next time, cheers.